Good morning. This is Mahesh here, and we have Niharika also on the other line.
Hi, everyone.
Are you guys able to hear us clearly? And are you able to see the presentation as well very clearly? If you have any questions, feel free to send Q&A on the chat box as well, and we'll be happy to take them post the presentation. So to start off, we wanted to discuss the mobile ecosystem and the way the mobile internet's been growing in India and the kind of opportunities that it presents to advertisers and marketers today. At the outset, I'd probably want to call out the fact that the mobile internet in India has been exploding in the last couple of years. We already see north of 85 million users and expect that to hit a significant base through 2013. Anything north of 100 million is a significant base and is something that advertisers can no longer ignore, and which is the reason why we think it's a significant opportunity for advertisers at this point of time. I want to talk about the kind of growth that we're seeing across various kind of devices at this point of time. If you look at the growth of smartphones specifically in India, it's been pretty significant. We're already expecting to hit about 100 million smartphones by 2015. If you look at high-end devices specifically, so Google defines high-end devices as devices with full browser capabilities, so typically iOS, Android devices, or BlackBerry 6 and above, Windows 7 and above, which are all construed as high-end devices. If you look at the kind of growth of iOS, Android devices in the country, we expect to have about 20 million iOS, Android devices by the end of December, which is by the end of next month, and expected to go well north of 40 million, close to 50 million by the end of next year. So 50 million is a significant base of high-end smartphone users, which advertisers need to kind of capitalize on and start connecting with. This is the reason why we've been reiterating the fact that mobile strategy needs to be an integral part of every boardroom discussion at this point in time for every marketer. The other interesting aspect from a user point of view is that the smartphone is the constant companion for users. It's something that users carry around all the time. Users forget to carry their home keys, but users never forget to carry their smartphones around. So that's kind of how constant a companion the smartphone has become. And then this presents a significant opportunity for you as marketers to connect with these users and engage with them at every point of time. And there are more interesting user insights that I want to talk about. As users move from feature phones to smartphones, the consumer media behavior is also evolving and changing. One of the most startling aspects is the fact that as consumers move from feature phones to smartphones, the first thing that they begin to depict is the habit of searching on their smartphones. Users are almost behaving on the smartphones. They behave as an extension of their PC life. So the minute they move to smartphones, they start the first point of internet interaction for them is search. So the growth in mobile search and the frequency of mobile search for users in India is pretty significant. The other aspect that I wanted to talk about was the propensity of consuming mobile video. The kind of video consumption rate that we're seeing across our video platforms on smartphones in India is pretty significant. YouTube for us, for example, is a significant platform, and the mobile video consumption of YouTube at this point of time is going through the roof. We do well north of 20 million impressions a day at this point in time on mobile YouTube every day. That's the kind of significant growth that we've seen in the last 12 months. When we started off last year, In July, on mobile YouTube, we were doing about 3.5 million impressions, and that is now north of 20 million impressions a day. The other aspect that I also wanted to talk about was, from a consumer point of view, social media usage on smartphones is pretty significant. The propensity to use smartphones on to network across various platforms is pretty significant. So these are interesting consumer insights on smartphone usage, which you as advertisers need to keep in mind when you think about your mobile strategy. And consumers are using smartphones not just for email, like I was mentioning. If you look at the kind of varied activities, there is search, there is research and browsing on the mobile internet, there is video consumption, and then there is the entire app ecosystem that we all know about, which has exploded out completely. The app consumption on smartphones is significantly higher, and the kind of interaction that users have with the apps is significant. Not having a mobile strategy at this point in time, and not having a mobile destination or a mobile site at this point in time, is almost like having a closed signboard on your shop. So this is something that I think is the starting point of your mobile internet strategy. And every marketer should focus at this point in time on getting their mobile assets in place, the mobile destination or the mobile apps in place, so that could be the starting point of interaction with the users and engage with them. If you look at a typical day in the life of a consumer, mobile is actually an integral part of every moment in the day-to-day. If you look at it, early in the morning he wakes up and he checks for messages on his phone, and then he probably reads news on the way to work on the phone. And I think we've all seen that happen even for us as we travel to work. For example, we consume a lot of news content across mobile sites as well as across networking platforms like Twitter and Facebook. And then when he reaches office, he's searching for a coffee shop for a meeting. You're probably looking out for a coffee shop nearby your office, and so localized search starts happening. And then through the day, we probably check for scores and hope that India is winning. And then in the evening, when you drive back again, you're on your phone. This is a trend that we're seeing. This is a usage pattern that we're seeing across smartphone users in India. And I've got data points to actually show you the kind of trend in searches, and it actually follows the same trend as a typical day in the life of a connected consumer. The other interesting aspect is multitasking is the norm. As you start using a smartphone, the kind of varied activities that you engage in at a single point of time is pretty interesting. So about 46% of the people said, when we did a research, about 46% of the people said they listen to music as they use their smartphones and check email or send tweets or network on various social networking properties. About 48% of the people said as they're watching TV, they actually are on their smartphones. This is pretty interesting because the attention span of a typical user is now divided, and the new age media, digital media, actually takes away a lot of the attention from traditional media, which is pretty interesting for you as marketers. So maybe there is opportunity for you as marketers and advertisers to engage with users during real time, during live shows, during the program that's actually running, and try and drive more engagement at that point of time. I spoke about the typical day in the life of a connected consumer. If you look at the search pattern, this is an interesting slide. If you look at it deeply, this is actually a typical search patterns across different platforms on a typical day for us in India. This is an India data point where the four lines that are there actually are search patterns across desktop, search patterns across feature phones, search patterns across high-end devices, which is iPhone, Android devices, and search patterns across tablets at different points of time through the day. And rather than dwell deeply into the graph, I'd probably want to give you the crux of the slide, which clearly shows that in the morning when you're driving to work, you're probably on your smartphone, and that's the reason why the kind of search patterns on high-end devices are actually high at that point in time. When you come into office, you're probably on your desktop, and at that time you start searching for information on your desktop, and that's when desktop search starts kind of going up. And then again in the evening when you're driving back, you will see a spurt in the kind of search volumes coming from smartphones. And then in the night, probably on the couch watching TV with your tablet. And at that point of time, you're actually able to see a spurt in the kind of search volumes coming from various tablet devices. So it's an interesting data point that actually drives home the concept of the life of the connected consumer, and it's an opportunity again for you as marketers to engage with these users across both desktop and mobile devices at various points of time. The other interesting aspect that I wanted to talk about was the fact that offline ad exposure leads to mobile search, and this is something that we've seen for the longest time even on desktop. You as an advertiser think about, say, a teaser campaign, and then the minute the teaser is out in the offline media, the desktop search volumes as well as the mobile search volumes now start exploding for that specific campaign. So you can actually use the digital media and capitalize on the added or the incremental search volumes that you start getting because of the offline ad exposure that you start because of your new campaigns. Now, the other complexity that mobile adds to you as an advertiser is there are various platforms. There is iOS, there is Android, there is BlackBerry, there is Symbian, there is J2ME. There are various device manufacturers as well who manufacture devices of various screen sizes. So do you cater to a 4-inch screen or a 5-inch screen, or do you cater to a 7-inch screen or a 10-inch screen? This is the complexity that the mobile world has now added to you as marketers. And as you think about the mobile strategy, these are things that you would probably need to start considering. So, for example, how can I devise mobile optimized site which auto optimizes across devices? So when I log on to the site, to the advertiser's site from my desktop, it renders appropriately for the desktop. When I log on from my mobile device, which is a 4-inch screen device, it gives me an appropriate experience. And then when I log on from my tablet, which is probably a 7 or a 10-inch tablet, it gives me an appropriate experience. So device detection and auto optimizing for the screen resolution is something that every advertiser needs to think about. And also the fact that if I'm developing mobile apps, which platforms do I need to develop for? There is no one-size-fits-all here because every advertiser caters to different markets and different kinds of audiences. Assuming you are targeting India, most of the Indian advertisers targeting India, it seems like most of the mobile internet users are now kind of being driven on high-end devices across iOS and Android devices. So you can actually look at building apps for the Android platform and maybe the iOS platform. There is the Symbian, J2ME, BlackBerry platforms as well that you may want to consider depending on the kind of volume that you're looking at. So this is a complex decision-making process that every marketer needs to go through. And it's a thought that I'm putting out there at this point in time. The next topic I wanted to talk about was mobile search and the strategies that you can actually use to connect with your audiences who are on mobile search. Now, we spoke about the fact that as users move to smartphones, they are depicting the same kind of behavior that they depicted on the desktop, which is the first point of interaction of the internet for them is search on the smartphones. So when we looked at year-on-year growth data point for search, mobile search grew about 170% year-on-year in 2011. And when we looked at it deeper, the kind of growth rate that we saw across feature phones was about 160%. But when we looked at it further on high-end devices, the growth rate in terms of search was about 710%. Clearly showing you that as people move to high-end devices, that's the first point of interaction for them with the mobile internet. So how do you, as a marketer, start engaging with these users who are actually searching for various information? Now, Google's been working on various mobile conducive ad formats which are specific for the mobile platform. So we've actually got formats which make it easier for you as a marketer to get connected with your user. That is click to call, which helps you as a marketer connect with the user for a call. The user looks for information and is able to call back into your call center and connect with you. There are various location extensions available. So for example, if you're in a specific location and you're looking for a coffee shop in the nearby location, and you look, the advertiser at that point of time has the capability to actually use location extensions to drive the user into the nearest location. And then there is the app download formats, which make it interesting for advertisers to drive app download volumes, or even deeper linking into the specific apps. And I'm going to talk about each of these examples in the next couple of slides as well. So click to call. This is probably the most basic and the most useful feature. Every user has the phone and he wants to connect with the advertiser. Every advertiser typically tends to have an inbound call number. You don't have a mobile site, you don't have a mobile destination, but you think mobile is an integral part of your strategy now, and you want to start your mobile advertising campaigns. This is probably the starting point of your mobile advertising campaigns, even without building out a mobile destination or a mobile site. Users look for specific information, and the advertiser has the capability to put up an ad and then get the users to specifically call in back into the call center number, where he's able to convert the inbound lead. This is something that every advertiser should immediately start exploring, even if they don't have mobile assets, like I mentioned earlier. Location extensions actually make it interesting from a user point of view, because it almost drives the user into the nearest location. So I'm in a specific location, and within a 100-meter radius or a 50-meter radius, any search that happens related to the information that I'm looking for, you can actually put out an ad as an advertiser and then get the user to click on that and then get led specifically into the location using maps. The other interesting aspect is the app download, and this has been the other interesting aspect is the app download format, and this has been really, really popular across the globe and in India at this point in time. We've been doing pretty significantly large campaigns for various advertisers. Like I mentioned earlier, the first point of interaction for users is search when it comes to mobile internet. And when you launch your app as an advertiser, you want the app to get popularized, and you want more downloads for the app. So as the user is searching for information about your app or about the kind of information that your app puts out, you have the capability to put out an ad there which actually links the user straight away back into the Google Play Store or the iOS iTunes Store, from where he's able to download the app. And we actually have download tracking capabilities which actually help you track the kind of volume of downloads that mobile search is driven for the downloads. The other interesting aspect that I wanted to talk about is about ad site links. Advertisers can actually have the capability to deeper link users into specific locations, both on their mobile site as well as their mobile apps. So let's just assume that I already have a specific mobile app installed on my phone, the advertiser can actually deeper link me back into a specific page on the app using this format. He can do the same thing even for his mobile site. So deeper linking within mobile sites and mobile apps is something that is possible using site links. With this, I probably want to invite Niharika to talk about mobile display and mobile video opportunities, which are pretty significant as well. Niharika, over to you.
Thank you, Mahesh. Hi, everyone. I'm Niharika Khanna, and I also work on mobile advertising solutions. And I'm excited to be here to share with you strategies on mobile display and video that will help you and your business gain more customers from the mobile web. So our first topic of discussion will be mobile display advertising on sites and apps. Google's mobile GDN network is massive, but it's actually the audience that we're able to reach with this network that is the real story here. Our GDN network comprises of mobile sites and apps, both which can be leveraged across all devices. And as we know, mobile devices are now transforming our lives in almost every way, connecting our physical and digital worlds, creating smarter consumers, but at the same time, more opportunity for smarter marketing. Consumers are using mobile devices to escape, to be informed, and to be entertained. Now, app remarketing and app marketing is probably the most common goal that you might have for mobile display. As with major brands having applications, the potential to promote these apps is also huge. You will see that here we did a research with Ipsos, and it showed that mobile ads are most noticed and get the highest response when they are run within apps as compared to other mobile platforms. Now with app downloads, the biggest hurdle and the most challenging aspect is app discovery. 90% of app discovery actually occurs when consumers browse through featured and top-ranked apps. So if your app is not ranked high enough, it is likely to not be discovered. Promoting your app is very, very key to driving downloads and maintaining and increasing relevance in key app stores. So as Mahesh mentioned, you can capture intent with mobile search and drive massive download volumes with mobile display. All our in-app auction inventory is now accessible through the AdWords interface, which also makes AdWords the only transparent mobile ad network in India. You can easily go into AdWords and create a mobile in-app campaign and define various targeting parameters such as platform, whether you need iOS or Android. If you have a specific list of devices that you want to target for iPhone and Android, you can do that. You can target by OS version and by traffic type. Here I like to mention about a new beta feature also that we are running. It's called New Smartphone User Targeting. Now what this allows you to do is target users who've appeared in our network for the first time in the last 14, 30, 60, 90 or 7 days. So these are users who are likely to have purchased the mobile devices most recently, and the users who will be more keen on downloading utility apps and more on content consumption. So this is also a key feature to keep in mind for your app download campaigns. The next interesting feature that we have here is Conversion Optimizer. Now, Conversion Optimizer can help you maximize your ROI by automatically getting you the most possible conversions for your budget. So by using the historical conversion data from conversion tracking or Google Analytics, the Conversion Optimizer ensures that your ads show more often when you're likely to get a conversion and less often when conversions are less likely. So this way you get more conversions without having to increase your budget. So we have a number of ad formats. which will help you meet your communication objectives. We have text ads, image ads, video ads, and rich media ads. So I will just take you through a visual depiction of some of these ads. So there we have click to call, click to maps, click to download, rich media, YouTube, and the social network. So let me take you forward with this. So this is a basic click to call ad. So you can allow mobile customers to connect directly with you via the phone, very similar to what happens on mobile search. The next is click to maps. Here you can direct consumers to your most relevant physical location depending on where the user is at that point of time. With app download campaigns, you can run click to download ads and take users directly to either the iTunes store or the Android Play Store. So on the right hand side, you will see a visual depiction of how a text ad looks like when it's running on in-app inventory. So once you click on the ad, it actually qualifies by asking you whether or not you want to go and proceed to the download page. So what this ad format does, it helps make sure that you only get qualified clicks and from users who have an intent to go ahead and actually download the app. You can also use these ads to take users to a video or to your mobile site, to a social media destination like Facebook, or even to your mobile YouTube page. Next, I'll take you through some of our rich media ad formats. Now, we've created a number of standard templates to allow easier rich media executions for businesses and agencies. And we also offer custom build-outs. I will take you now through some of the standard templates that we have. I will begin with the Spotlight Showcase. So a Spotlight Showcase allows you to call out features of your product with interactive spotlights. So when a user clicks on it, he gets details on the image and description of that particular spot or feature. And this is how this will render on your mobile device. The next is a 360 showcase. Now with this format, you can allow consumers to rotate and visualize your product. This format can be used to showcase maybe the interior or even exterior of a product to get an actual feel of holding the product in your hand. This is how it will look on your mobile device. The next format we have is a swipeable gallery. With this format, you can showcase multiple products in an interactive manner. So users browse through a collection of product images by swiping left or right on their tablet or the phone. And they can zoom into any product image with a simple tap or a pinch out gesture. Similar to that, we have a scatter gallery ad format. So with this, you can give consumers a more playful, free-form interaction with products. So users see a collection of images scattered around a branded background, and then they can tap on each of the image, drag it around, and click on it to reveal more product details. With the slideshow format, you can highlight your products across a dynamic slideshow animation. So users can explore products in a full-page slideshow ad experience that actually animates. And also there are multiple buttons in case the user wants to take action or go to another destination that you may have specified within the rich media ad. So here you will see that it actually animates within the ad. Finally, we have the locator ad. So you can, with this format, you can wrap your branding around Google Maps to drive foot traffic. So users can explore retail locations within a full page branded Google Maps page and can take action directly from the map ad unit. So you could have click to directions or click to call as well integrated with this format. So before I close this topic, I will broadly mention some of the things that you should keep in mind to win in search and display. So firstly, make sure that you're reaching people about your apps and helping them easily download these apps by running click to download ads and enabling mobile app extensions on search wherever relevant. Secondly, leverage the GDN network and reach people by running both image and text ads. Third, track downloads on Android and iOS with AdWords conversion tracking, and optimize ROI with the automated bidding feature, the Conversion Optimizer. And finally, measure in-app user activity with mobile app analytics, which will give you a lot of insights on what the user behavior is when they are inside the app. So next, we'll move on to mobile video opportunities. Just to give you an idea of what the landscape looks like, in 2011, our mobile video consumption grew by more than 300% year on year in India. And actually 30% of Kolavari's 35 million impressions actually came from mobile devices. In 2013, mobile phones will overtake PCs to become the most common way to access the internet, and this will further enhance and the video story. We have 4 ad formats currently that we've launched on mobile YouTube. The first one that we'll talk about today is the in-stream video ad. Now this ad unit is bought on reservation. It's basically a pre-roll and it is non-skippable in nature. So the user will need to view the full ad before progressing to see the video of their choice. The length of this particular ad video cannot exceed 30 seconds. And the pre-roll will run on both the Android and iOS YouTube app and on the m.youtube.com browser page. The next format is the TrueView video ad. This is also a pre-roll. The basic difference between a TrueView video ad and the in-stream video ad is that in case of TrueView, a viewer is given a choice to watch or to skip the pre-roll. And this is bought on auction. So a viewer will have a choice to watch or skip the pre-roll, and the advertiser will only be charged when the viewer has watched to the end of the pre-roll or after 30 seconds, whichever comes first. And TrueView pre-roll ads also count towards view counts, as viewers intentionally choose to watch the ad rather than to skip it. The TrueView pre-rolls run on the YouTube Android app and the YouTube iOS app. Next, we have probably the most popular format on mobile YouTube, which is the mobile YouTube roadblock. This is also a reservation unit With the mobile YouTube roadblock, what you get is 100% share of voice of m.youtube.com for 24 hours. So your banner ads will run on the home page, the search page, and the watch page. The viewers can click through to a mobile site, a brand channel, or a YouTube video, whatever destination you specify. And with ad impressions crossing 20 million a day, this is a premium property that you can leverage to reach a massive audience. Finally, we have the mobile brand channel. Now, mobile brand channels are discoverable when a user searches for a brand in m.youtube.com. And advertisers can drive traffic to these mobile brand channels with mobile ads running on the in-app network or on m.youtube.com, or even by running pre-roll ads. And as video is extremely popular in mobile, and this ad unit makes it very easy to extend your existing video content to the #1 video destination in mobile. So definitely something to keep in mind. Well, I hope this section was useful. What we will move to now is a brief summary. You can click on this link, which will take you to a summary and feedback page, and it will really help us to continue to improve these experiences for you. Before we move on to Q&A, I will leave you with 2 resources to check out. First is letstalkmore.com. As some of you may already be aware, we launched the Google GoMo program earlier this year. So GoMo is a Google-led initiative dedicated to helping businesses go mobile. So it provides lots of tools and resources to make websites more mobile-friendly. You will also find India case studies on mobile here, so definitely worth a check out. And you can also see how a normal desktop site renders on a mobile device using the GoMo Meter tool, and you will get personalized recommendations for creating more mobile-friendly experiences. This site also has information on current mobile trends, mobile best practices, and a free tool to help you build a mobile site. The second tool that I want to leave you with is called ourmobileplanet.com. Our Mobile Planet provides insights into smartphone usage and mobile attitudes. So you can use it to create custom charts that will help you deepen your understanding of the mobile consumer and support data-driven decisions in your mobile strategy. This is also accessible and free, so just play around, and hopefully you'll have some key takeaways from it. Next, we will move to Q&A. Mahesh?
Sure. So I was looking at some of the questions, and I probably want to take a few of them which are kind of broader nature. I was looking at question from Ashish from Socrates. Is an app necessary for the 360-degree showcase? No, not necessarily. The 360-degree showcase that Niharika spoke about is a rich media ad format that runs within apps. From your advertiser's perspective, the kind of assets that you need are very, very basic. So you need a bunch of images, which are basically the image and the background image and with the background text, etc. And it's put together by our ad ops team, and then creates the experience of a 360-degree showcase, exactly like the way Niharika displayed to you guys. So these ads run within apps, but you don't need to have you as an advertiser do not need to have an app to actually run a 360-degree showcase.
Connected to this, there is another question from Satish from iProspect Communications. His question is that can we do rich media ads on tablets and iPads? So the answer is yes, we can. So we can run rich media ads across devices on your smartphones and your tablets.
Does Google suggest what apps could be used for advertising in case someone does not have their own app? So the entire display network that we have, the app display network that we have, the erstwhile AdMob network, which has now been integrated with AdWords and is the mobile in-app display network, is the publisher network where you can run your ads. And you can actually use placement targeting to choose specific apps or specific categories of apps that you want to target. So for example, you want to target only entertainment apps or only business apps, only utilitarian apps. It's possible to do that. I'm going to kind of run through some of the other questions quickly. Animesh from Group M has asked, WAP has been discontinued on AdWords for targeting. Looking at the trends, it still shows higher than tablets and HED. No, Animesh, actually WAP targeting is still available on AdWords. In fact, as of now, it's not been deprecated. You can actually target WAP users both on WAP search as well as on WAP on the GDN network, which means that when a user logs on to a mobile WAP site using his feature phone device, so he goes to quickinfo.com or m.hungama.com or whatever, you can actually run banners on the GDN network to target him. So you can use both WAP search as well as WAP display even today to run WAP campaigns. Some of the largest telcos and VAS companies are already doing pretty large WAP campaigns with us at this point of time. Browsing, Amit, your question about browsing and the kind of categories that they speak about, the kind of categories that they consume. So mobile internet browsing is kind of divided between browser-based browsing and app-based browsing. Key categories, obviously entertainment and gaming is huge. That's probably the number one category by far. And then there are other categories like news and business, and then utilitarian apps again are pretty significant. The interesting opportunity for you is that you can actually use the Google AdWords platform to target both users who are consuming content on the browser using the mobile site. Say, for example, he's logged on to m.techcrunch.com, or when he logged on to the app itself, so when you're using TechCrunch app and consuming the content there. So it's actually possible to target the users either way. I'm kind of skipping to other questions that so there's a question on Yahoo being integrated as a search partner for iOS, but we're seeing significant usage still from both iOS and Android on search, on mobile search. The last one about what's the number for Windows Mobile, it's pretty insignificant at this point in time. It's not significant at all at this point in time in India. There's a question, hello?
We have a question from Rahul. His question is retargeting available on mobile devices? So I will briefly talk about a beta feature that we are running. It is called in-app remarketing. So what this beta feature allows you to do is create a list of people who have seen your ads and have your app. So you can create a list of such users, and then you can retarget them to push further engagement, or you can exclude them and target new users depending on what your use case is. So this is a beta feature, and your AdWords account needs to be whitelisted for that, and we can share additional details with you on this separately.
There's a question about from Ankur Joshi from Zovi. Can you shed some light on mobile advertising how mobile advertising has worked for online apparel industry in India? I'm going to jump in there. Specific verticals have taken off pretty early on mobile. So the verticals that have been closest to mobile are the ones which historically lend well to mobile, which is telcos, OEMs, VAS players who are kind of closer to the mobile ecosystem. And then there are other players like ecom who've now started creating pretty solid mobile web strategies. So you have a lot of the travel players, for example, like Cleartrip and MakeMetrip, who have pretty solid mobile strategies in place. In terms of Apple specifically, I haven't seen extraordinary work at this point of time in India. It's pretty early and nascent. But internationally, we've seen some great examples. In fact, if you see some of the examples that Niharika showed in the even in the rich media display piece that she spoke about, and some of the cooler rich media formats, a lot of the Apple industry advertisers have actually done engaged with the users using these formats. So that's something that you can start probably using at this point in time in India as well.
There is a question from Neeraj from Comly. His question is, how can we set up video ads on YouTube targeting only mobile devices? So there are two video ad formats that we spoke about. One was the in-stream video ad and the other was the TrueView video ad. So the in-stream video ad is bought on reservation, so it is executed on another UI internally, and the video ads, TrueView video ads, are bought on auction, so they can be executed via the AdWords interface. So in your targeting, so if you are creating a TrueView video ad campaign from the AdWords UI, you can specify in your targeting to restrict it to only mobile devices and tablets. And we can have the same for in-stream video ads as well, which are bought on reservation when you get in touch with us directly, and we create the campaign based on those guidelines. So I hope I've answered that question. In case you have some follow-ups, we can again connect offline.
There's a question from Aparna. How big is the mobile advertising market in India? Which category dominates? What is the estimated growth? So in terms of size of the market, last year the mobile advertising market in India was about $30 million, out of which the mobile internet market would have been approximately about $15 to $16 million. A lot of the other non-mobile internet platforms contributed to the significant revenue base last year. But with the TRAI regulations hitting, mobile internet actually started growing pretty significantly. So if you look at the mobile advertising market this year, it would be in the range of about 60 odd million. And the share of mobile internet advertising of that 60 million would be pretty significant. So it would be well north of about 35, 40 million. Which is the interesting aspect. So the share of mobile internet advertising is actually growing pretty significantly at this point in time.
From Group M, we have Animesh, whose question is, in Google device targeting, what options do we have? So we have the targeting capabilities include one platform. So you can specify iOS, Android, or BlackBerry 6 and above. You can target specific devices. So if you have like a list of Android phones that you want to target or list of phones that you want to exclude, so you can go by the device, the specific device, and include it or exclude it. Similarly for the iPhone, you can, and the iPad. The next targeting capability is the OS version. So whether you want to specify something like gingerbread, followed by traffic type. So if your campaign objectives are to run on specific carriers, Vodafone, Airtel, or everything including Wi-Fi traffic. Then we have a couple of beta features, like I mentioned, the new smartphone user targeting. So you can leverage that as well.
There's a question from Salil from Bank Bazaar, which is, I think, an interesting question. Do mobile users do serious e-commerce activities? I think they're mostly done on desktops. I'll give you a couple of data points, Salil, which this is information that I'm actually gathering as we speak, and every advertiser's feedback in this is going to be key as well. So whether it's Zoe or whether it's Myntra or whether it's any advertiser, ClearTrip or Make My Trip Tomorrow, I still keep gathering a lot of information. These are data points that I've heard recently. For example, I was speaking to Book My Show. 11% of Book My Show's transactions now are coming from mobile every month. You may say 11% is not significant, but 11% is still a significant number because their monthly transaction volume is pretty significant now. They do over I think they do over 1 million transactions a month. So 11 at this point in time, already 10 to 11% of their transactions are coming from mobile, and they expect that to go well north of 25% by the end of next year. So that's a pretty significant data point. I also spoke to feedback from another player who's in the health product space online. About 5 to 6% of their transactions are coming on mobile devices already. So this is still early days, but I think it is important to kind of be on these platforms because this is definitely the future. You're pegging on the future, and you definitely need to have a strategy in place and start building that. You're also driving habit and in some way. So today, for example, when you and I when we are traveling, we probably don't even think about booking movie tickets on a Friday morning because when you're traveling in the evening in the car, you probably just take out your phone and start booking it on the app. On either the Book My Show app or the specific cinemas apps like the PVR Cinema app or whatever. So you're driving habit, and this is something that you guys need to start thinking about. So while that 5 or 10% may seem small today, it's going to become significant. And next year, with the kind of explosive growth that we will see on the back of high-end devices, and 50 million is not a number that anyone can kind of ignore anymore. So that's going to be interesting for you guys. Just looking through the questions.
Yeah, Altaf from Epigram, his question is, what YouTube mobile properties count towards the view count of a video? So only the TrueView video ad format, which specifically gives a viewer a choice to watch or skip an ad, counts towards the view counts. Because we are giving the user an option to watch the ad or to skip it. So if you run a in-stream video ad on reservation where the pre-roll is non-skippable, this will not count towards the view counts of a particular video. Only a TrueView video ad format will count.
And this is related to that, actually, Hari Prasad's question, Hari Prasad from Zoe's question. There's a question about on mobile, a cost per engagement commercial arrangement might give better ROI. Is there any plans for this direction? Actually, leading from what Niharika just spoke about, the TrueView format, I think, in terms of video engagement, is probably one of the most exciting formats that we can get both across desktop as well as the mobile devices. It almost lends to your question, Hari, because you actually pay cost per click, but you effectively pay cost per view because you pay only when the user watches at least 30 seconds of your ad. So it's a skippable ad format where the user sees a skip button at the end of 5 seconds, and then you pay only when the user actually watches at least 30 seconds of the ad. So it's effectively a cost per engagement or a cost per view model, and that kind of is right kind of up the alley for the advertiser. So imagine you could never probably do this on a television network where you say, hey, I'm going to pay only when the user actually watches this ad. You can do this across desktop and mobile devices when using TrueView format. And this is the most exciting format. One of the things that we've been driving home with every advertiser is TrueView is something that every advertiser, when they're launching a television campaign, should think about YouTube and TrueView formats across desktop and mobile devices. There's a question from Himanshu. Sorry, Niharika, go ahead. Go ahead.
Puneet from Sokrati, his question is, are BlackBerry mobile users also targetable? So we can, with the AdWords interface, we can target BlackBerry users version 6 and above, not the others.
BlackBerry versions 6, below 6 were considered WAP because they had WAP browsers. So you will be able to target a lot of the BlackBerry browser users on the WAP network across WAP Search and WAP GDN. The only thing is you will not be able to target specifically BlackBerry users only because for WAP we do not have device manufacturer model-based targeting. So you cannot actually do device OS targeting either. So you can't target only BlackBerry OS users on WAP. So you will be able to target BlackBerry users, but there will be leakage on WAP. And then on high-end devices like Niharika said, you can actually target BlackBerry 6 and above specifically. So it's kind of going to give you a much lower volume though. There's a question from Himanshu on driving app downloads. For driving a mobile app downloads, which inventory should we target, mobile app or WAP? What's the approximate percentage inventory available on GDN mobile apps? Himanshu, so for mobile app downloads, Google Mobile, the platform actually works best. In fact, it's been working best globally because you've got both search and display as mobile search and mobile display to drive app downloads. We showed you examples of both mobile search and mobile display in the presentation. You should use both mobile search and mobile display in-app to drive downloads. You would not use WAP to drive app downloads because you're typically targeting iOS or Android users. So you would target in-app inventory across iOS and Android users. And the kind of inventory that we have across in-app is pretty significant. We already display over 2 billion ad impressions a month across iOS and Android mobile app in-app inventory. So that's pretty significant, and that's an opportunity that you guys can capitalize on straight away. Any other questions? Niharika?
So Mahesh, I think what we'll have to do is we will follow up on all the remaining questions that we've not been able to answer. And you will hear from us with comprehensive answers on that. And we hope that you were able to take away key actionables on how to leverage mobile search, display, and video for your business. So we would like to thank you for your time today and hope this was very useful for you.